Hey, our EduMatch friends. I am so unbelievably excited today for this EduLaunch. I love our EduLaunches all the time. This person happens to be one of my favorite people, and her books are phenomenal. And so I am looking forward to doing this launch for quite some time now. And I am so excited to bring on Ekuwah Mends Moses, who, again, one of my favorite people. She already has a book that I'm going to ask her to talk about, but she is releasing Mama's Portraits and Me, which is absolutely every bit as beautiful as the first book. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Absolutely breathtakingly stunning. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm a Ghanaian American and I am proud of that. I'm also a wife. I've been married for 23 years. I have two kids. They are teenagers actually now. I've been a teacher here in Las Vegas for 21 years. And as you mentioned, I'm an author of two books. I'm so excited to be sharing with you. I also love to travel and I can't wait for summer break to be coming up.
Yes, that is I'm so excited about your new book. And just to hear a little bit more about it. And one of the questions is what inspired you to write Mama's Portrait and Me?
Well, I wanted to continue the story. I wanted to tell more about my unique family because I thought through that, through being open, through being vulnerable, there might be some other readers who could relate to that. Someone who's coping with grief or the loss of a loved one. I thought it would be important to share a story that I needed on the shelf when I was growing up. And I know
Yeah.
that there's a lot of times people have perceptions and some people feel alone. And I wanted to be able to connect with readers who might be looking for stories like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially I love especially that you're bringing forward sort of some of that, that story from the beginning, because I know that after reading your first book, I wanted more. Like I wanted to see more of your pictures. I wanted to know more about your history and all the things. So I'm so glad this is so amazing that it's coming out.
Thank
And so to go off from that a little bit, why is the subject matter of the book important to you?
Because after the first book came out, July of last year, I had family members reaching out to me who were shocked that I had actually written about my family and especially about my mother. Because, the mother daughter relationship is sometimes interesting. And I, growing up, had a lot going on in my household. My mother was an extraordinary artist. You can see her art here. But
Oh, wow.
she was also battling with MS. And so I wanted to go a little bit more into that in this next book. And so it was important to me because she was the most relentless, courageous woman you will ever know. And as I look back on it, I just marvel. Her story, her work is still relevant today. And she left us with more than 100 albums of her work and of our family photos and things like that. And so being able to bring this particular album to life and share with other people, I thought might be valuable. So although she passed away in 2017, I want her to still be able to continue her work that she started. Work I know that if she was still with us, she would still be doing. And so I'm so thankful for EduMatch and for this opportunity to share in a way that she wasn't able to.
Yeah, and I think that's such an important piece of, if you're not familiar with, the first book and now this book, is that they're real pictures, they're real photographs from
Yeah.
your family and how, my name's an address, and now this one, it, like I don't know how to explain that. It's like looking through somebody's family photos
Yes.
and and how often, we bring out our own family photos and we say, oh my gosh, do you remember this? This is when this happened. And, do you remember the kind of narrative that went along with this? That's what your books are like. They're
Yes.
like looking through somebody else's narrative.
Yes.
And it just makes them so special and touching, I think.
you. That's exactly right. Because nonfiction, I think there's such a place for nonfiction in showing real families in real time and what they're going through. And I just feel like that's kind of missing. And I wanted to bring that. Like, I wanted to show other experiences that people might not be able to relate to. And like you said, with the authentic family photos, like real families, they really go through.
Yeah, absolutely. And not perfect photos and not doctored photos and not it's just family photos.
Raw,
That's amazing.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Um, so who is the audience for Mama's Portraits and Me?
I chose the picture book format for the reason that you said that, sometimes a picture speaks 1,000 words, and
Mhm.
seeing her art versus telling about her art is more powerful. So I wanted to include those real things. And the picture book format is written for all ages. That For this one, we have targeted children ages 8 and above, so all readers, and of course the younger ones too. Anyone who loves fine art, portraits, any teacher who uses self portraits in the classroom, anyone can enjoy this story and look for themselves inside of it. It's rich with all kinds of different things inside of it.
That's awesome. Um, so before I would love for you to talk about the resources that you have, because I know there are a ton, and I can't even tell you how many times I've pointed people back to your website for like, check out what she's done. This is amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more about the first, if you could, for anybody who hasn't seen it, introduce your first book a little bit and talk a little bit about that, but then talk about the bridge between the two.
Oh, absolutely. So on my website, I have links to videos and resources. My first book is My Name is an Address, and it talks about my name. And again, there's so many things within inside of this nonfiction that is a springboard to other conversations. So the first book was explaining my name and the reason behind my name, how I got my name. And I used the ABC format to lay that particular book out. And so each letter is a springboard to other conversations. So I have a teacher's guide available. There's videos, there's resources, there's handouts. There's even a template for anyone who would like to tell their story as well. This book, I take it a little further because many people noticed I included a lot of my mother's art, and how she made sure I knew my name and how important my name was. And even though I don't see it at the store, my name is very valuable. And so she made lots of personalized things in my first book. So the second book, I wanted to carry that more, tell about who my mother was, where she came from, how she got her talent that she had, and how that impacted me growing up. Because again, like I said, she had MS. And so she was still phenomenal and didn't let that define her. She was relentless, and I want to show that too. So on my website, I have a teacher's guide for them to be able to use this book, some of the art that's within it, and how you can carry that conversation on. Again, for kids to be able to tell their story, or adults who want to tell their story as well, and what portraits meant and how she went about that. So it's an art teacher's dream, but it's also a classroom teacher's dream as well, because many of us do a lot within the RI standards of the academic standards, reading informational text and bringing that to life.
Yeah, absolutely. And now do you have, I'm gonna ask a question that probably everybody's wondering. Do
Yeah.
you have a special talent in art?
And you're gonna
Inquiring minds want to know. All the fans are gonna be tweeting about this afterwards. Like,
know what? To be honest with you, one of the things I do say in the book is I was very intimidated by my mother's art growing up as a child, looking at it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because everything I draw looks like a cartoon. So, but I am good at graphic arts. So I am good at laying out things. So as you can see, the cover, I designed
yeah,
that. I did not draw any of it. I did not write anything in this book, handwrite anything in this book. But I am able to put colors and things together because I did get that from her. And I do have her, she is my inner voice saying bolder and this and that because she did help and guide me. But as for the fine art, that's not me.
Not you, but that's it. Like graphic arts and design like that is definitely its own type of art, and and how awesome is it that she had the one type and you have the other type, and
Yeah,
now they've come together to create this book. Um, her artwork would have never been a book without you designing it,
right.
and you wouldn't have had the book without her artwork. So
Exactly. Because her
yeah,
in
that's
her
pretty
most
cool.
productive years, we didn't have all these online stores and ways for her to showcase her work. And so I'm very happy in 2022 that I'm able to showcase it in a way she wasn't able to. And I believe picture books are like mini museums. They're
Yeah.
portable art galleries if you think about it. So that's really what this book is. It's a portable art gallery of her work and how the two of us, our mother-daughter relationship, went along with that.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
I cannot stress enough that you need to check out her website with all of the resources that she has. There's a ton of stuff on there.
Thank you.
It all brings the books together and supports lessons in the classroom. And Ekuwah has just done a phenomenal job with really bringing teachers the resources that they need in the book to, be able to pick the book up and teach it the next day. And there's so many phenomenal pieces of this, so many SEL correlations, so many just talking about family and how families work together and how special names are in the first book.
And
And so
into grief and loss.
yeah,
I
and
did,
and we've had that right now, right? In droves.
yes,
And so it's perfect timing.
right. And also, I wanted to point out kids who are growing up with a parent with a chronic illness. I feel like it's something that when I was growing up and dealing with her progressively changing body, there I would love support in that regards. And then also with it being a black family too, that was even more rare to find. So I want to be able to support people that way. And I did spend many years before coming back to the classroom this past year in family engagement. So I definitely want to encourage families too to have these discussions. Many of my relatives who are included, because I included more family members in this book, they took a look at this and they were shocked at how vulnerable I was because there were some conversations that they didn't really understand my reactions to my mother. And I talk about how I ran and hid a lot of times instead of helping her as much as I could have because I just didn't know how to process that and seeing what
Sure.
she was going through. And sometimes I didn't have the best reaction. And I'm very open about that in the book. And I hope that it will help someone else who may be going through a difficult situation in their family and have those conversations on how they can help each other.
Yeah, because that's a lot of adversity for a little kid.
Yeah,
And I feel like in a child's mind, they're
yeah,
not supposed to be the caregiver,
right,
like they're
right.
not supposed to have to, help mom, even though as adults, we understand why she's asking for it. As a kid, you're like, your
Yeah,
mom, like
you're wrong.
what could you
Yeah,
possibly need?
right.
Um,
And me, I was like, Mom, why can't we go to the mall? Why can't you do this and that? And she went above and beyond. She was absolutely extraordinary, but still in my child mind, I wanted
yeah,
something different that I saw my classmates having. And I wanted to help her, but I couldn't do it. So yeah,
yeah.
it's been a process for me. And this book was a real labor of love and very triggering and emotionally stirring to put together. And so I really do hope that it will resonate with other people who, like you said, grief and loss right now with the endemic,
Mhm.
it's everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, well, Akua, I am so again so happy to have you on here. You are just to see your smile, and you have such a beautiful smile that just makes me happy and warm every time I see you. So, congratulations on your release. I am so happy for you,
Thank you.
and I want to just encourage our EduMatch family to go to every bookstore that you can, buy her books, both of the books, but especially the newest one, Mama's Portraits and Me, is our newest children's book release and is absolutely stunningly beautiful. So you can pick that up in Barnes & Noble. You can pick that up on Amazon. You can pick that up on edumatchpublishing.com. You can also buy an entire slew of books by doing a bulk order. And we give discounts at only 10 books. And so if you would like that, you can contact Dr. Sarah Thomas at edumatchbooks@edumatchers.org, and she would be happy to facilitate that bulk order purchase. So again, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the release of this book. We absolutely love it. Love having you as an author, and humbled that you allow us to work with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to me and my family. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, EduMatchers. Have yourself a nice night.